Shalom. Apostle Hawk coming back at you with this truth, giving all praise to Yahweh by Shem Shai. And I'm going to entitle this video Ezekiel chapter 3. Now, what I did was I was thinking about Ezekiel, the third chapter. And I remember back during the One West days, the Saturdays was High Priest Ariah's class. And he would go into the Sabbath service, he would go into the Hebrew, and then he would go into the scriptures. And he would go into a lot of prophecy. You know, he was a prophecy man. He went into all the chapters of Revelation, of the book of Revelation. He would go into Ezekiel, Daniel. You know, this is where we learned our prophetic side of this truth. In a way, you know, I go into a lot of things dealing with prophecies. 2018 year of prophecy. Anyway, what he would do is he might go into Revelation, the 12th chapter, and then maybe 2 weeks later go into it again. And then a week later go into it again, kind of review it. Now, when you do it that way, you know, you don't have to take notes. It goes into your mind, into your, you know, your subconscious. So it's inside of you. It's part of you. It's part of eating the roll. That's another reason why I'm going into Ezekiel, the third chapter as well. But what I did was I went to YouTube and I put in Ezekiel 3, and a handful of videos came up, and I didn't see anything on GMS. And then I saw one video that was put up maybe a year or two ago, maybe 5 years. I can go back to it. It's no big deal. One of the brothers from GMS, Las Vegas, had did a video entitled Ezekiel 3 verse 17. And then I kept, you know, scrolling down, and then I came across Ezekiel 3:1, Eat This Roll, Part 1. And it was put up by myself. You know, you men out there, you know, looking for a topic. You know, I said put up 3 videos per week. You looking for a topic. I mean, that's a topic right there. You know, you might go into a breakdown that somebody did 6 months ago. Well, you might go through it again and get deeper into it. Anyway, I'm going to let you hear something, which this is the elder. I'm not basically saying it, and basically he said exactly what I was thinking before I even clicked on the video. So this is so I'm just going to let you hear it, and then also you see Elder Ayathan and Elder Taziwan. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all hear it.
That's the demon out there. Hey, Apostle Rambler years ago made a video which was bad, man. He said, look, sometimes you come up and say, I taught this again. Teach it again. Yeah, there's a lot of men that out there, a lot of elect men that have not heard this word. They don't know about Yahweh Shai being coming as his real name, the tribe of Judah, being the nation of Israel, who he came. It's basic and it's simple, but it builds a strong foundation.
But that's how it gets ingrained in your head, man. It's repetition, hearing it all the time. And the apostles always taught us that, or from apostle to heart. Like, remember, every week we go over the same breakdown over and over and over and over again.
Revelation 12, from right there up in the high.
Yeah, but now we can go through Revelations 12 like Zoom, Revelation 1, Zoom, Revelation 20, Zoom.
Yeah, but we first will go through it, like we just coming in, break down Revelation 12. You stuck in gear. Yeah. Now you can just flow right through it.
Right through it.
Yeah, that's why you have a lot of these different camps that stem from One West. They're teaching things you know, we all teach the same basics. You know, the 12 tribes of Israel and the so-called white man descended from Esau. You know, we deal with those subjects. But then when you go deep into the scriptures, like let's say you're a casual listener to these videos or watch of these videos, and then you want to go deeper. You know, you want to learn more. You start asking questions. You might even join a camp, whatever state you may live in. You might join with a camp, and there'll be a time where they'll get together and they'll teach. And that's when that's when you go deeper into the scriptures. Now, like I said, you have other camps out there that you know, like GOCC, and I just found out about it. That's why I did a video on it. That they're teaching. Now, I knew at one time they were teaching that Edomites can make it, and I kind of forgot that they taught that. I mean, it was in the back of my head, but then there was a recent video that I put up, and they were teaching on this talk show that Job is an Edomite, which that was never taught at One West. That was never even thought of. Job is an Edomite, and that doesn't make any sense at all. Anybody that's teaching that, the Most High is definitely not dealing with you. Job is an Edomite. Give me a fucking break, man. Anyway, that's one thing, and then you got. See, we're at the point now where we really don't even watch those other videos of these other camps as much as one used to, because there's so many videos that we're putting up. So if I put up a video, I would have to go back and kind of listen to the video to see if I didn't go off. And that's another thing. Guys will go off on something and they might get corrected and they'll leave the video up instead of coming back and saying, well, I went off on this. I misspoke on that. This is what it really means. Or take the video down. That's why there's a lot of confusion among these different camps, man. Another one, an HODC did a video on that, saying that talking about the Antichrist. You got to look out for this guy called the Antichrist. There ain't no such thing as no motherfucking Antichrist. Antichrist is a spirit. People that are against the Messiah are what we call anti-Messiah, so Antichrist. Ain't no one guy with a suit on, you know, with a business suit on, talking about, oh, he might be the Antichrist. That's some BS. Anyway, I'm going to let you listen further, and then I'm going to actually go into Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. And like I said, for you guys out there that is not doing your 3 videos, just leave the camp. Just go back and be the nigga that you was in the past. See, we're in a sifting now, man. And there's a lot of times where you get a writer gets writer's block where he can't think of a story. Well, we all get that, including myself, where you're thinking of a topic and you can't think of nothing. But then you meditate on what shall I speak on. You go through the different videos. You might go to a video that Vocab No Class Malone put up, and he'll say something. Then you say, well, I'm gonna do a counter to that video showing that he's going off. Anyway, I'll let you listen to the rest of this.
That's the way you teach.
And that came down to the elders. So they said that's how our priest Ariad taught, and that it works. You know whether the element.
Did you hear what he just said? That's Elder Anap. He said that we told him that Ariad used to go through that. Yeah, and that's why I do this. Okay, hey, when you're doing, if you got 100, 200 individuals that are in this truth, and they're putting up, 3 videos per week. If it's 100 for every 100 men, that's 300 videos being put up every week. At least 3 videos. Like me myself, If you go to my page, in the last 2 weeks, I probably put up more than 20 videos. Some of them might be long, 20 minutes. Some of them might be 50 minutes. Some might be 5. Some might be 10. But the thing is, I put those videos up because you don't have to sit there for 3 hours, 3.5 hours doing a video. Because people are not going to sit there for 3 hours, 3.5 hours watching your video. They might watch parts of it. Sometimes you got to just hit the point, man. Anyway, let's go back.
When you go through your ABCs, when you go through the Hebrew, oh my God, when you just repeat it, then it becomes second nature, man. That's anything. If you ever play sports, boxing, football, basketball, it's repetition. It's round after round. Lap after lap, and then you perfect it. That's how you get good at anything. Practice makes perfect.
And every time you read a scripture, man, it's like you're reading it for the first time. Every lesson we do, you bring out a scripture, it's like
something else come out.
Yeah, something else come out, and it's fresh, man. I mean,
real quick, there's another point. There's a movie out when we was kids called The Never Ending Story, and that's what happened. That book is The Never Ending Story. You can read Matthew, the 24th chapter, 10 times, and each 10 times you're going to get another point added or something that's coming up to date, for whether it be what's going on with the president visiting Cuba,
Okay, so that's all I want you to hear. Anyway, I'm going to go down to, and by the way, this was put up like 2 years ago. The exact date is 3/29/2016. That was the year of the push, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, this is the comment that was put up by Apostle Gabar. He basically, it's a quote from Bruce Lee, which we believe Bruce Lee was an Israelite. If Bruce Lee was alive today, he'd be part of a Great Millstone. And y'all be talking shit about him. That guy's a gook. Anyway, it says, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Now, if you studied a Japanese karate, when you really go deep, there's a practice called I hope I'm saying it correct, makiwara, which is you take a tree that might be maybe 5 inches in diameter, and you might wrap a piece of cloth around it or a white belt around it, and then you would punch it head on with a right punch, 500 times. And I did that when I was young. I think I was to be 16, and I did that, and all my bones got crushed up. It was the 2 knuckles, and you wrap it up and you let it heal for 1 month, and your bones come back harder than before, and you can go to a brick wall and hit that brick wall full force, and you won't feel anything. So if you punch somebody dead off with a straight right hand, they're going down. If you watch George Foreman, when he made his comeback, if you watch him training, he would go to a bag and he would just throw the right hand repeatedly, which was a form of makiwara training. And he would hit that, and he would put a big dent in the bag. And that's why he was able to knock this guy out. What was his name? Michael Mora, because Michael Mora was beating him, and I think it was the 10th round, he hit him with a straight right hand, and it basically, you know, paralyzed him. So he stood there. Then he hit him with another straight right hand. I think it was a 1-2, and the dude just went down. You can see the veins pop out of his head. I mean, if you go to YouTube, you can actually, watch it. But that's that power of constantly doing one thing to its perfection. Anyway, I'm going to go into the scriptures right now. I'm going to go into Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. Hey, because you have a lot of guys out there that's down with Great Millstone. And that goes for other camps out there. You got guys that join different camps, and then after so many years, it gets old. So they don't want to do it anymore, but they still stick around. They still stick around anyway. All right, Ezekiel. And since we're on the subject of Ezekiel, a good bread to eat, the only bread you should eat is Ezekiel bread, which is dealing with sprouts. Anyway, let's go right into it. We may or may not go through the whole chapter. I guess we're going to go through the whole chapter. It's also good to read the 2nd chapter as well. I should have started with the 2nd chapter, but that's okay. Somebody else could do it. Anyway, it says, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll. And that roll represents the scroll, which is the book, which is the scriptures. So what he meant by eating the roll is to digest it, meaning read it, study it, go over it. You have teachers at the most, and this is the way you get this truth, is by teachers. All these guys that in GMS that fell off, and then a lot of them went back into the world and not doing this thing no more, coming against us. Everything that they learned was from us. Okay, the 12 tribes, the breakdowns. It says, and go speak unto the house of Israel. Ezekiel 3 verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. Did it say go and speak, eat this roll, and go on to speak unto the house of Israel and the mixed multitude that came out of so-called Egypt? Didn't say that. Did it say eat this roll and go and speak to the house of Israel? And if you happen to be the Apostle Paul, speak to your cousin Herodian. Doesn't say that. Okay? It says go and speak to the house of Israel. So that hasn't changed. The Most High does not change. So why would he teach throughout the whole Old Testament about he's only dealing with the children of Israel, and all of a sudden he changes up? Oh, I changed my mind. You got to go teach the Gentiles now. Doesn't make any sense. So if you want to be caught up in that madness of Edomites can make it if they accept. First of all, ain't no Edomite gonna accept this. Number one. And Esau has his own god. I think his name is Quas. You can look it up. Esau's god, or the god of the Edomites, and he looks just like Barry Manilow. So Barry Manilow is your god, which he's a so-called Jew, a fake-ass Jew. It says, eat this roll and go speak unto the house of Israel. Did it say sell them t-shirts? Did it say have rap concerts? Did it say have cookouts? No. It's very simple. Two things. Eat this roll, which is the word, and go speak unto the house of Israel. Second verse. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. Because when you learn about this, you got certain celebrities that follow what we're teaching, you know. So it says it's in his mouth as honey for sweetness, right? Now this is what John on the Isle of Patmos experienced. This is Revelation 10. Revelation 10. And I'm going to go right to the point, but you should read the whole chapter, which is a short chapter. It's only 11 verses long. So just read the whole chapter. I'm going to go right to I'll start at the 9th verse. So I'll read the last 3 verses. Revelation 10, verse 9 to 11. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book, which is the scriptures. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it. So what did the Lord say to Ezekiel? Take this roll and eat this roll, right? And it shall be in thy mouth, and mouth as honey for sweetness, right? It says, take it and eat it up. Meaning completely consume the book. Don't eat half the book. Don't eat the parts of the book that you think tastes better than the other parts of the book. And that's what a lot of these clowns are doing. And it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And that's what was told to Ezekiel, right? So now if you go to go to bitter, the word there is pikrino, which means to make bitter, to produce a bitter taste in the stomach. And that's why a lot of guys leave, because at one time it was sweet in their mouth, and now it's not so sweet. And it not only is it not sweet, it's bitter. To embitter, exasperate, render angry, indignant, to be embittered, irritated, to visit with bitterness, to grieve, deal bitterly with, right? To be irritated. Guys leave ultimately because they're angry. Then they'll say, these guys, the most I ain't dealing with them guys. Them guys are niggas, man. So anyway, we're going to go back to no, I done lost my place. Okay, here we go. So we're back at Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's bear with me for a minute. I want to go back to Revelation 10. And this is not the time to be leaving this truth, man. The Most High gonna do some big things. Okay, 10th verse. Revelation 10, verse 10. And I looked, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. Like going out there in the wintertime. A lot of these guys that broke off from One West, the One West so-called tradition was we went out in the wintertime. Why? Because it's in the scriptures. And that's one thing that separated us from other Israelite groups out there, is that we were out there on the highways and the byways. And that's the thing that made us famous, being out there on the highways and the byways. But because you interact with people. You know, you have people come up and ask you questions, or you have Christians come up, or however the case may be. So a lot of guys, when they break off and do their own things, you know what they set up and establish? They don't got. They take the whole winter off. Well, that's that. You're not eating the whole roll. You're taking the whole winter off. You know, certain groups, you don't see them for 6 months, 8 months, and then all of a sudden, when it's mid-spring, early summer, all of a sudden they're out there, you know, setting up camps and stuff. Anyway, it says, 11th verse, and he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. So what did that mean? Where's the record of John ever coming off of the island of Patmos and going before people and prophesying before peoples, nations, tongues, and kings? It's not in there. So what is it talking about? It's talking about when he dies and he comes back and reincarnated with something that the Christians don't teach, because the Lord's not dealing with him. So that's what that's talking about right there. That's reincarnation right there. This scripture right here proves that reincarnation is actually biblical. So now let's go back to Ezekiel 3 verse 2. So I opened my mouth and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And honey is a real honey, not that bullshit honey that you buy at the supermarket. I'm talking about real honey. I'm talking about raw, organic honey. That's the sweetest thing that you can eat, man. Even Samson said that. What is sweeter than honey? Nothing. Nothing natural. 4th verse. And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel. Now you notice it didn't say get thee unto the house of Israel and the mixed multitude that came out of Egypt and Edomites, if they accept it. Didn't say all that, man. If the Most High wanted you to go to these other nations, he would have said it. Let me read that again for you clowns out there. 4th verse, Ezekiel 3 verse 4. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words, not your words, not the way. And then Edom might say, well, I want to hear it for what you have, what you think. Listen, first of all, we're not here for what I think. It's about what the Most High is about, man. And speak with my words unto them. And that's another reason why you devils can't get it, because I want to hear what you got to say. 5th verse. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech, because we speak to our people in English or Spanish or whatever, and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel. Because what language is the house of Israel speaking? That's been scattered. They're speaking every language except Hebrew. 6th verse. Not to many people of a strange speech and of an hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. So the ones of you that can't get it, man, and the Most High set YouTube up for us to push this word out, to preach this word, publish this word throughout the whole world, and then the end shall come. So anybody that has a laptop or a desktop or a smartphone, and they can go to YouTube, you can't tell me that you haven't came across a video dealing with the Hebrew Israelites, whether it be IUIC, ISUPK, HO, HOD, HODC, HOI, LOI, any of the alphabet, GMS, any of them groups. Because if you listen to one, you're going to listen to another, and it's going to lead you to other groups. And then you're going to question, like a lot of times the question comes up or the comment, why can't all you groups get together? Well, when you see that, you know that this guy is new. He's not deep into this thing. When you get deep into this thing, into the scriptures, then you'll understand why us groups can't get together. Because the Most High is only dealing with one group. And the Most High didn't say, well, I'm going to give this much to that group and that. No. He's dealing with one group. That's Great Millstone. Anyway, it says, 6th verse, not to many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou canst understand. So if we tell you it and you buck up with your bullshit and you get destroyed, which you are going to get destroyed, that's on you. If you follow a group that led you astray, don't come running to us. We gave you the truth. You chose to go to another group. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their face. A lot of these peep clowns out here say, well, see, if you change your attitude and you smile a little bit more, maybe. Most I didn't say go out there and say smile. Even though sometimes we do smile. You know, sometimes somebody comes up and something funny comes out and we smile or laugh. But if you're going against people that's Israelites that's dealing with other philosophy, you ain't supposed to smile with them and be friends with them, and unless you're trying to deliver them. But once you see that they can't be delivered, you got to move on, man. 8th verse, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. So the rebellious house is Israel. And you're going to get them looks on the outside, on the highways and the byways. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thy heart, and hear with thine ears, and go let thee, and go get thee to them of the captivity. Because where are we now? Anywhere we are outside of the land of Israel, even in the land of Israel, we're captives. Them jakes that went back to the land of Israel, now the so-called Israeli government set them up and gave them citizenship status, but now they got to join the military. They're men and they're women, so they're screwed, man. It's mandatory. You got to join the military, men and women at a certain age. So they went back to the land of Israel, but guess what? Ain't nothing coming out of the land of Israel. Everybody's talking about the Israelites over here in America, man. They ain't concerned about them people out there out there in Israel, them Israelites out there. I mean, they're out there and we'll acknowledge it. We'll, like if somebody comes up, well, what about Israelites being in the land? I said, there are Israelites out there. But now we're in the captivity of this man, no matter where we go, including the land of Israel. And if they tell you different, then they're lying to you. Esau could do whatever they want with them. They're at the mercy of those Edomites. Those devil Edomites. 11 verse again. And go, get thee to them of the captivity unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, thus saith Yahweh the Most High, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. So if you listen, that's good. If you don't listen, that's still good. Because we're doing what the hell we're supposed to be doing. 12 verse. Then the Spirit took me up, and I heard behind me a voice of a great rushing, saying, Blessed be the glory of Yahweh from his place. 13, I heard also the noise of the wings of the living creatures that touch one another, and the noise of the wheels over against them. Now you got to read the first chapter to get an understanding of that, because when the angels came down, and even the Lord came down, they came down in what the white man would call so-called UFOs, and a noise of great rushing. So the Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went in bitterness in the heat of my spirit, but the hand of the Lord was strong upon me. Then I came to them of the captivity at Telebib, that dwelt by the river Chabar, and I sat where they sat, and remained there astonished among them 7 days. So he actually was sent to his people. And it came to pass at the end of the 7 days that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. So part of the warning is what? Well, one thing is the mark of the beast. That's why we do so many videos on the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. So when the microchip is actually introduced to the masses, the ones that have listened to us, the true prophets of the Most High, we believe that we are, then they're going to say, no, I'm not going to take it because that's the mark of the beast. So you have a lot of groups out there that's saying that's not the mark of the beast is not the chip. So if they're teaching that, that means pretty much you're going to take that chip, because you're going to say, well, I'm not breaking the laws of the Most High. Then they might bring out Romans, the 13th chapter to you, the first 2 verses, tell you to obey the government. And they're going to use it too. 18th verse, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou giveth him not warning. That's why we go out on the highways and the byways, to give you warning. Nor speakest to warn the wicked from their wicked ways. Then the wicked right here is not talking about the white man. That's something that one West, the high priest in them, said that this is talking about the white man, that we got to go warn the white man. You know, and it speaks in another part of Ezekiel to if they restore the pledge. They ain't talking about no Edomites. This wicked right here is talking about wicked Israelites from his wicked way. Because how you gonna turn to Esau, which is the wicked, and turn him from his wicked ways? That doesn't make no sense. That doesn't make any sense. To save his life, we ain't trying to save this devil's life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, which are you Israelites. Like when Sarnetta and Polite came down, we told them the truth. We told them that the Israelites, this, that, and the other, and whether they accept it or not is on them. But the blood is off our hands. But his blood will I require at thy hands. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Again, when a righteous man doeth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered. So if you've been in the truth and you did 20 plus years and then you fall out and you become a Muslim, guess what? Those 20 years don't mean a damn thing. Most High gonna kill you any damn way. But his blood will I require at thy hand, so we got to warn them too. Because we have said that Ariah is going off right now. Yeshai and the former high priests is teaching things contrary to what is supposed to be taught, that they're going off. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not and have not sinned, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. And the hand of Yahweh was there upon me, and he said unto me, Arise, go forth into the plain, and I will there talk with thee. Then I arose and went forth into the plain, and behold, the glory of the Most High Yahweh stood there, as the glory which I saw by the river Chebar, and I fell on my face. Then the Spirit entered me and set me upon my feet, and spake with me, and said unto me, Go, shut thyself within thy house. But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be and not be to them as a reprover, as they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh the Most High, He that heareth, let him hear, and he that forbeareth, let him forbear. For they are